But what we do know for sure is that in the Tang Dynasty, a very important missionary church called the Church of the East, that was based in basically Mesopotamia and Persia, and had bishoprics and archbishoprics all across the Middle East, India, Central Asia, right into Western China. This church sent a special delegation to the court of the Tang Dynasty emperor of the time. And in 635 AD, missionaries of a group that called itself the Religion of Light, they were very clearly missionaries from the Church of the East, from Persia, entered China, established very congenial relations with the Tang Dynasty court. And if you go to Xi'an today and you visit the forest of Stele, which is a museum with some wonderful Chinese stone carvings, you will find what is called the Nestorian tablet. And the Nestorian tablet was carved in about 751, which is 120 years or so after the arrival of the missionaries there. And it records the very cordial relations of the practitioners of this, or the missionaries of this religion, and the Tang Dynasty court. Now, if you are a little bit adventurous and you are interested in other places to visit in the Xi'an area other than the obvious ones, the terracotta warriors, which of course is a wonderful archaeological collection, but if you wander outside of Xi'an, you will come to a lopsided monastery. Actually, it looks like a Buddhist pagoda, but in fact, the lopsided tower is the tower that originally belonged to a Christian monastery. And this is possibly one of the oldest surviving churches in Asia, certainly the oldest surviving church in China. And it was discovered to have been not a Taoist or a Buddhist temple, but a Christian place of worship, only as recently as 1999, when an English archaeologist investigated the pagoda, climbed up to the rather rickety second floor level and discovered a whole array of paintings and carvings which clearly were Christian. And subsequent visits showed that not only was the pagoda tower belonging to this Christian church assemblage built probably in the 8th century, but the main building attached to the pagoda had survived at least as long as 1966, when very sadly it was destroyed by Red Guard depredations. So the church in China certainly goes back to the Tang Dynasty. The people who brought the gospel to China were called Nestorians, because the Church of the East sprung out of the missionary efforts of one Nestorius, who was, I think rather unfairly, mislabeled as a heretic for some rather sort of obscure theological interpretations of the role of Mary, was she Mother of God, and so forth. But the Nestorians is the name that is given to all the missionaries of the Church of the East that planted churches and bishoprics and dioceses all the way across Asia, and they were the people who brought the gospel to China. Well, the Nestorian Christians turned out to be, as some Christian communities in different countries become, not exactly as interested in retaining high ethical standards as they might have,